Good evening, everyone.
It's Friday, 9 p.m. and it's the 13th.
Oh, yeah. I'm Andy.
I'm Debs.
This is Mike. And welcome to Codes of the Unknown.
Don't be afraid. Hello.
Hello. Sorry,
Hello.
1 second, just closing the curtain. So, this evening, we have Mike Ford with us, who has MKMD exploration. So we're going to be talking to him in a bit. But firstly, we're going to tell you about, we'll start off with these. Car stickers.
It's a sticker.
Look at all them. Look at them all. Yeah, so we've finally got him after weeks and weeks and weeks of waiting. And also, the website is up and running.
Yes.
I will put the link in the comments because I need to copy and paste it in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from now on, as of next week, any events or live stream information is going to be going straight onto the website. The video will be on there and it'll be on YouTube. The link will go onto Facebook, but you'll still be able to see it on Facebook, but it will take you to the website and the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. So yeah, it's all up and running. I did the last couple of bits of alterations on it today. There is a donations button on the PayPal when you're all feeling a bit flush. That's it. Deb?
Yeah. Superb.
Anything from you?
Right. Just say a few hellos. Hello to Kelly, Steve, Joe, Lee, Max. Who else have I missed? Oh, Shane's in. And I think that's
Stuart.
it for now. No, we've
Stuart,
lost Andy again.
Kelly. No, I'm still here.
Sounds really bad again. Oh, Ralph. Good evening, Ralph. How did you do? Thank you all for joining us.
Is that any better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, Deb, can you hear me?
You've gone all robotic.
Right. Give me 1 second. How about now?
That was a bit better. No, it's gone
Right.
again. Sorry about the technical issues, folks. Right, Mark
how's
says
that?
we all sound fine on YouTube, so we'll go with that.
Right, well, I've took my headphones out. Just let me change my
Alright.
audio.
Okay.
So,
yeah, Mark says he can hear us fine.
Right, cool. Evening, man.
Evening.
Right, yeah. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I've completely gone blank.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Car stickers. That was it. They're smaller than what I was expecting them to be.
Yeah.
So I don't want to feel like I'm ripping anyone off. So I'm going to send 2 instead of 1. So if you've bought 1, you're going to get 2. I'm going to be posting them tomorrow. And the next lot are going to be a lot bigger than these. I did measure them, and they are the right size. You just look a lot smaller than how they said it was going to be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So these are 2 for $2.99. Free postage and package as well.
Yeah. See?
So,
Bargain.
yeah. Can't beat an offer like that. And I've got to do all the hard work and write the envelopes out.
Yeah.
Best jobs ever.
You'll need to get some pens made.
I've been looking at all that today. Digi's on. She's not been on for a while. Hello.
Right.
I was going to say. Go on.
No, I was going to say are we going to do a little thing about gargoyles?
Yes.
Right.
If
I'm
you
going to
do
go
that,
off
and
screen.
yeah. If you do that, I'm going to look for the link to put on here.
What?
So I'm looking away from the computer. I'm just copying and pasting.
Right.
Did that?
Your sound doesn't sound right to me, Andy. I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it's got a slight delay to it, hasn't it?
Yeah. You might have to do it on your phone instead of your computer. I'm hearing myself again now.
How about now? Is that any better?
I can hear you still. I can hear you, yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got an itch.
Deb?
I can sort of hear you, yeah.
Only sort of. To get closer.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
Right. Joe says I'm echoing.
Right. Well, I can't hear anyone echoing. It all sounds good to me.
Right. Okay. We'll go with it then.
Yep.
Right. So I'm going to go off screen. I'm going to read me a little bit about gargoyles and the account that I found. I shall be back to you shortly. Oh,
Okay.
nearly removed myself there.
Don't be
Right.
doing that.
I'll try not to. Okay. So gargoyles were born to Greek architects that had their heyday during the Middle Ages. They had 4 main purposes back then. They contributed to the religious education of an illiterate population by depicting Bible stories and eternal damnation. They were put on buildings to scare away evil spirits. Gargoyles were used to promote conversion to Christianity by combining the rituals of the Catholic Church with pre-Christian symbols, figures, creatures, and practices. They also had a practical purpose. They were used on the Gothic cathedrals of Western Europe to spit rainwater through hollow chambers. I suppose a bit like a drainage tube. Some gargoyles stuck out from buildings as far as 3 feet. So, the Houston gargoyle. In 1986, Frank Shaw, a NASA archivist, was leaving work after a long day. As he reached his car, he glanced up at the Space Centre buildings. Perched ominously on the edge of one of them was a ghastly black gargoyle-like figure. Shaw claimed he was frozen in horror at the sight of this astounding apparition. Frank's description was of a jet black humanoid, which seemed to have a large cape draped across its shoulders. As if that wasn't bizarre enough, he claimed he saw two massive bat-like wings sticking out of either side of the fabric or perhaps wrinkled flesh of what he perceived to be a cape. He reported that the creature stared down at him and that it actually seemed to be savouring the fact that it managed to inspire such terror in him. At this point, the gargoyle seemed to unfurl its wings, which Shaw stated made a crackling noise as it took flight in howling, powerful gusts. The noise of its wings broke Frank out of his spell, and he sprinted to the car. Many years later, Frank's daughter recalled that when her father returned home from work that night, the family knew something was dreadfully wrong. He was finally composed enough to regale them with a terrifying tale of his brush with the unknown. His wife and daughter rallied behind him, but warned him not to tell his superiors about the incident in case his credibility or sanity were called into question. However, the incident preyed on his mind, and he got up the courage to confide in his immediate supervisor. He was informed that he was not the first Johnson Space Centre employee to have seen the enigmatic entity skulking in the isolated areas of the station. His boss revealed a secret file had been opened on the creature just a few months prior to Frank's sighting. This was due to two of the base's resident German Shepherd corpses being found mutilated and drained of blood in the area where the creature had been sighted. Frank's story made its way up the chain of command until reaching the attention of some NASA officials who, in classic Men in Black fashion, decided to interrogate the witness. He was warned to refrain from telling his bizarre story to anyone else. There have been no reports since Frank's sighting, or have there, and other people have been warned off by officials. We will probably never know. So that's Frank's
Very interesting.
Story. Yeah. It's I've not found any other reports online of like encounters with what you would call living gargoyles. That's the only one. And I think working at NASA is quite a credible witness. But the Men in Black thing, it's almost like, why were they keeping that secret? Why didn't they want him telling people what he'd seen?
Where are they from? That's the thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it says NASA officials, but it could be from anywhere.
Well, yeah. But then are the men what's that? The Men in Black, are they from Earth? Are they from somewhere else? Could be from anywhere.
Who knows?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? And I don't think they're ever going to tell us.
No.
See, I've only ever heard of one other story of this. It was on PRT.
Right.
I can't remember it without re-listening to it, but it's just this gargoyle. It was following people, and it had like a chain around its neck. It was about 2-3 foot tall, I think.
Right.
I'm just trying to remember it, and it broke free from somewhere.
Yeah.
And that was basically the story. Like the shortest version ever. Obviously, there's more detail to it than that, but I don't know where it is.
Like somebody had been keeping it captive?
Possibly, yeah.
That's weird in itself.
Wow. But then, I know there's a lot in the churches in England, but this sighting was in America.
Yeah, this obviously was, yeah.
Because aren't gargoyles more Eastern European?
Yeah.
Rather than anywhere else.
Well, that said they were predominantly Western European. So that's more to our side, isn't it? Western.
Yeah, so it's like Italy, France,
Germany.
Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just you don't really hear much about it. That's why I thought when we was talking about it the other day that we should talk about this.
Yeah.
Any
What?
of you watching had any experiences with gargoyles or know of anyone?
What I find interesting about gargoyles is these are centuries years old. They go back a long, long way. What I don't understand is, how do they know what these people in real life know what a gargoyle looks like? So does that mean that they've seen something demonic to give them an image of what a gargoyle looks like? Do you know what I mean? Or is it a pure imagination?
Yeah, that's a point.
Possibly.
I mean,
You've got to have seen something, even like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster or do you know what I mean? A UFO. You've got to have seen something to get an idea of what it looks like, to put an image to it and call it a name, a gargoyle. You know, so it's interesting.
Yeah, to give it like you just said, to give it a name.
Yeah.
Without seeing something, it's like if you've never seen a chair before, you won't know where it was for or what it was called.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Good point, that.
Never looked at that before. It's interesting. I mean, ghosts go back. I don't know how long. You know, could we be talking? You know, before Christ?
Yeah.
So, would they? What amazes me is even before religion started, even before Adam and Eve. I'm not a religious person, to be honest. I'm on the fence with it. I believe and don't believe, because I don't know. I have a lot of convictions in my own head about what I believe in, to be honest. But yeah, even before religion was, let's say, founded or found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have people experienced spiritual entities before then? So. Yeah. I don't know. It always goes back to the man can question. Before we came about, what was here? How did? Do you know what I mean? There's so many questions that are unanswered, but I still don't think we're going to get to know these answers whilst we're alive here on the planet.
No.
I think that you obviously have to pass over, and then you'll probably find out. That's what I believe, anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally agree with that.
Definitely. That's it, though. The more questions you ask, you don't get any more answers. You get more questions.
That's one of my mottos is always question everything. Even I say to my kids, question everything.
Just ask somebody else.
I sometimes regret it, when, what's this, Dad? What does that do? What does this do? I wish I'd never said it now.
Yeah, because there's times you can think back on in your life and think, oh, God, I wish I'd have asked about that. So, I go with that now. Ask anything.
What else is funny is deja vu.
Yes.
Deja vu. I've had a couple of deja vus. And even, I think it was in York. I was only a little kid. My mum and dad went to, took me to York along with my sibling, and when you get a feeling of deja vu, there's a smell the ground, the cobbles, and you just think, have I been here before? It's really odd.
It's really
and believe it is, but believe it or not, my son, my partner took him to Whitby when I think he was about 4 years old, and he'd never been to Whitby before, but he knew his way around. So a 4-year-old kid knew his way around to Whitby. He'd never been there before. How do you explain that? Is that deja vu?
That's past life. Or is it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm not sure what to think in reincarnation and things like that. I really don't know. I don't know. I'd like to believe it's true, but
I think somehow deja vu sometimes links in with that, because I think you've been there before, and that's what your memory's popping up. I don't know about the ones that occur before you go somewhere. Like when I did it once. You see something like in a dream, a street and all this, and then it comes. You go somewhere and that street's there. That's happened to me. I don't know how that fits in.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being a kid at school in RE, religious education. I don't know what it's called these days. It's ethics and all sorts of things in it, but. We watched a video about a case of reincarnation, and this is what really intrigued me when I was a kid. it was a young boy who was born, and he always kept saying, I've been to this place before. And the parents was like, well, you haven't, we've never been here before in our lives. This is the first time we've brought you. And he said, and he started recollecting a story of how his life ended before. And his parents are kind of like, is this kid on something? What's he on about? Yeah. And it transpired that he had a mark on his head of what caused the death. I don't know if it was a death by a freak accident or something hit on the back of the head, but the mark on the back, the mark on the back of his head was reincarnated into his new body. He still had this mark on the head, and he said, I can prove it. Yeah. And I don't know what happened, but the parents was like, whoa, this is some serious stuff. He's coming out with all this. Yeah. Let's try and find out. He said, can you remember what your name was of your previous person that you was? He said, I don't know. But I know the street and, he was really odd. And I don't know what they was trying to tell us at the school. I really don't. I was like, what's this got to do with education? Reincarnation? Yeah. What? That's a kind of like, do you believe it or not? It's almost like a paranormal question. Do you believe in the paranormal? But anyway, we're going to show you a video of, I don't know, The Exorcist or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it does. It's the very good questions, but it's hard to prove it. Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was reincarnated, I could probably think, I know this place. Let's go there. And by the way, I was killed here. Let's go by the records or my death certificate. There we go. That's me. Yeah. How could you? Do you know what I mean? There's ways to prove it, but you as a person, who's going to believe you?
I remember the story of the Indian boy who got shot, and his birthmark was actually the bullet wound. In his neck spine, the birthmark was where he'd actually been shot, and they traced him back. Wow. He knew family members, and it was amazing. Really? There was no doubt that kid had been reincarnated. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing story. Sorry, I hope I haven't slipped us off topic here. No, gargoyles and everything.
No, because you reminded me of something that I wanted to talk about. I keep forgetting about it. But going back to the deja vu thing, I had a theory of my belief as to what it was. And it's completely, I can't remember what it is. It's been one of them weeks.
That's useful.
I've got a theory on everything, but I've forgotten it.
No, I have wrote it down because I'm trying to remember that much stuff. But what I wanted to talk about was like time stop. Don't know if anyone else has ever experienced it. It used to happen to me all the time. A lot of time when I was a kid. So I'd be walking down the street, and then as I'm coming up to a corner, 90 degrees, I'd be walking. So I'd be walking up. As I come up to a corner, I'd notice that all sound had stopped. And as I turned, whether it's left or right, that's irrelevant. As I turned, for a split second, nothing would be moving. There'd be no sound.
So time had frozen.
Yeah, so and as I turned and started walking down the street, everything started moving again.
Wow.
Like it's a Truman Show. Someone shouted,
yeah, like almost like a real life glitch.
Yes. And it used to happen all the time. I'm talking 2-3 times a month.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I just thought, it's got to be me. And then as I got older, I used to do it, still do it, but not as much. And as I got older, it's like it's not happened for years. But it'd be like, it's like you're watching an old movie, a dated movie, and then they start a new scene, and they're not quite ready, and they're not starting acting and moving, and all of a sudden they start doing whatever they're doing. It was like that.
Right.
Very strange. I've never encountered anything like that before, I must admit.
Okay.
No. Strange one.
Yeah. I remember the deja vu thing. Could it be that you was crossing over a dimension at the same time? So when you've done something, and you're remembering doing it, are you then doing that from a different dimension, either at a different time or the same time, and that's why it only lasts a few seconds, because then you pull back. That was it, like the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Interesting.
What I mean. So if you've experienced something, but you cannot remember it happening, and no one else knows about it, is it because you've crossed dimensions for that 2-3 seconds?
It's very possible.
And then you've come back to the dimension that you're in now.
I think anything's bloody possible these days.
Yeah, you're kidding, Mike.
Oh, yeah. I knew I'd remember it eventually. It was just took some time. But the one with the time stop, someone just thought it was a glitch in the Matrix, but it was weird because nothing seemed different. I was still moving, all the buildings and everything was still there. It's just that I'd be like walking up the street and there'd be nobody on the street, and there'd be no cars on the street as I'm walking up, just before I'm going to turn. Then as I turn, it's really busy, and then for, I don't know, 10th of a second, nothing moves, and then all of a sudden, it all just starts at once.
Very strange.
Yeah, it is.
That's one of the things I've never. Oh, sorry. That's one of the things I've never spoke about because I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah.
And I was watching something on TV a couple of weeks ago. It was, and that's what reminded me of it. I thought I had to write it down.
Yeah, well worth writing down. I mean, anything unusual that you either witness or encounter or experience, I think it's well worth jotting down. Because I remember you telling me that, Debbie, didn't you?
Yeah.
Any experience that you've witnessed, encountered, whatever, jot it down, because over the years, your memory's going to deteriorate. Get it down on a piece of paper, and it's always there. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can look back on it and think, oh, there's more to that, because I've done that with writing my books. I've sort of jotted down main things and then gone back to it and thought, that happened, or this was there, or little things will pop back into your head the more that you look at stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's always good to write stuff down. You need a notebook all to yourself, Andy.
I've got the side of it.
Sorry, Mike.
I usually use the notes on your phone. You go to notes. Anything I remember, I just jot it down on that, and it's just instantly there. But I did see something the other day on the Philadelphia experiment, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Using science to try and make a ship disappear along with the crew.
Yes.
And this thing actually happened.
The Philadelphia experience.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, interesting.
What it was now? What's the
I can't remember its name now.
I used to know it as well. It used to come straight into my head as soon as I heard Philadelphia experiment.
Don't begin with S. Apparently, it went from Philadelphia all the way over to California and back in less than 40 minutes.
Yeah, so there's proof there that we can time travel.
Yes.
But when it came back, there was crew embedded in the metalwork.
That's right, yeah.
Legs sticking out, and it wasn't very...
It was quite nasty.
Yeah. It wasn't... The experiment worked,
Eldridge.
but not for the people that... Eldridge,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So it travelled something like, is it 2,500 miles and back in less than 40 minutes or something?
Yeah.
I think I've got 47 in my head, but I'll call it 40.
It's something I probably should have looked up and read about before I came on, but it just popped into my head, when you mentioned something about time stopping, and I thought, hang on, the Philadelphia experiment, that something happened with time there. I was always unsure about, time, missing time and things like that. I thought, I've never experienced it, but I think it's interesting that it has happened to other people. Coming from Truth Proof, Paul Sinclair said there was an elderly couple on the Benson Cliffs there, and people, that found themselves like 2 hours later carrying on walking and was like confused as where's that time just gone? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
See, that would really frighten me, I think.
Yeah. I think it'd frighten anybody, wouldn't it? It's 2 hours of your time, or I think it was a time frame of an hour and a half to 2 hours or something.
Yeah,
but
that's a hell of a long time.
It is. Absolutely.
I had a bit of an argument on a
No.
Facebook group the other day about, time travel. And this person was trying to convince me that time travel was not possible at all. And I said, after the things that I've heard about and the things that I've seen, I don't rule out anything as being impossible. Well, you
absolutely.
give me scientific proof. And I went, well, I can't give you scientific proof, but I'm still open to the idea that it can happen.
Yeah. Well, like Mike just said, them 2 hours, they might be gone more than that 2 hours. If they've been taken and brought back, they could have been gone for days, and they brought back to the nearest time possible.
Possibly.
Possible.
There's all different possibilities and theories.
There is. I think anything's possible in this world. I mean, who knew about the coronavirus? I'm sorry to bring up the coronavirus. I hate it. I detest listening to it or anything. But who knew that a simple virus from a man eating a bat completely stops the whole world in its tracks? My beliefs are it's a biological weapon that's caused this.
I agree.
It's got the traits of a biological weapon.
Yep.
It's only because I've read lots of different reports, and each one states it does come from bats in is it Wuhan?
Wuhan.
Can't remember the name of the place.
Wuhan.
Yeah.
And then bats in that area do carry the COVID virus.
Yeah, but my argument to that, or counter that, is how many centuries have these Chinese people been eating the bats as a delicacy? All these centuries, and not one virus has come off it. But 2019, it happens.
Pesticides. But the thing is, it's like COVID-19. The 19 doesn't mean it's from 2019. I don't know if anyone knows this.
No, I don't know.
It's a 19th strain of COVID since it was first detected.
Right.
So there's been 18 more different strains of COVID before this one that took over the world, basically.
Interesting.
So that's what I mean. It's all different. So I don't know what to believe. I believe it's a real virus. Whether it's man-made or not, I don't know.
I tend to go along with the man-made.
At first I thought it was, but now I'm not too sure.
Well, there's stories there's stories of it being leaked out of a lab by accident. I believe I heard.
I heard that. But sorry.
Lots of feedback there.
Yeah, the motorbike.
All right, that's all right. I thought it was your goat.
I'll be a lot louder than that. Sorry, just quickly. A lot of people were saying it's a 5G towers as well.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think they do cause something, but I don't agree with that being anything to do with COVID.
It's with the 5G towers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
a lot of
interesting.
people were saying that was causing this supposed COVID. But apparently the 5G towers give off as much radiation as the electricity pylons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how can something like that emits a signal cause problems with your respiratory? That's what it ultimately is the COVID, isn't it?
Well, respiratory disease.
Apparently,
infection, whatever.
Yeah. But now this is a discussion that me and Mrs. were having before, kind of. Her mate had COVID, yeah, and she's got really bad asthma, but it didn't affect her breathing that much. I know there's a couple that I know that they've got it now, and they're really bad with it, and they don't have asthma.
Yeah.
So, what's that all about?
I don't know.
I mean, my partner's my partner's uncle. Is in his late 50s, fit, no problem at all, and just got struck with the COVID and died a few weeks later.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, you could be fit and healthy. I mean, there's been reports of, young, fit, healthy people with no problems whatsoever, underlying problems, struck with the COVID-19 and died. So Yeah, I don't know.
You would have thought it would have picked off the elderly and the ill, you know, the physically
vulnerable, yeah.
Yeah, the vulnerable, yeah.
Well,
But it's,
yeah.
at the beginning,
random.
At the beginning, it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they say,
I do believe that a lot of people, including myself, had it right at the beginning.
Thought it were cold.
Everyone was real. Yeah, that was like the January before
March.
Was it March, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 2-3 months before that, and then that because they was talking about it in the media and that, but they weren't making a massive issue about it.
No.
It was more, oh, there's this thing happening in China, blah blah blah, and no one's really taking any notice of it. So I reckon I had it right at the beginning because I was proper knocked off my feet with that.
Yeah.
But I was only. See, if I have a cold, I'll carry on. But if I have flu, it just wipes me out, and that's what it felt like. And as it felt like more like a cold, I thought I'd just go back to work. I can't afford to have time off.
Yeah.
So
I've just seen a comment from Kelly Shaw who put it was on Joe Rogan. Scientists confirmed it. Is that to the what confirmed what again? Sorry, I missed the comment on that.
I'm presuming it was confirmed as man-made.
Yeah. I like Joe Rogan. He's a very interesting guy. Brings on some very, very relevant topics to this day, you know, especially the Bob Lazar case, which I found fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, definitely. Which takes us on to our first, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Interesting.
Hang fire a minute here.
Right. Does anyone have any questions?
Oh yes, I had a banner across there for that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's all right, it's me. I'm on my comments. Right. So, Mike, question time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fire away.
What first got you interested in the unexplained?
I think it started at a very, very young age, maybe 5 years old. I was in my back garden and I was an aircraft geek. I loved aircraft. I still do to this day. And that stemmed from my dad being an aircraft fitter at British Aerospace, working on military aircraft. So for Christmas, he said, right, what do you want for Christmas? So I said, I'd like an airwave radio, an airband radio to listen to aircraft. So, okay, Christmas time. And I think it was the summer after. We stood out in the back garden, listening to aircraft. You could see the contrails of aircraft, and actual contrails, not chemtrails.
Yeah.
And on the radio, good morning, this is flight level, blah, 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 blah. And then with that, this little black dot just went past us at a rate of knots, very high altitude. And me and my dad saw it. And I was like, what the hell was that, Dad? He's like, I've no idea what that was. But it was certainly not from this planet, that speed. There was no shape to it other than just a black dot, circular dot, just gone. So from that moment, when my dad said, well, put it this way, it's not from this planet, it kind of made me think, so where is it from then? What planet is it from? Yeah. And round about then, you got films like Close Encounter of the Third Kind on the TV, Fire in the Sky. You got all these different, E.T., and they're all UFO related or related, aliens from Mars, horror films. Yeah. It just draws you into it as a young kid. And that's where my interest from it all started from, really, from there.
Yeah, right.
So, I was just going to ask you something. I'm getting as bad as Andy now. That just pops straight What year was it? What year was it that you will have seen that then?
Oh, God. I was born in 77, so I'd say maybe about 83, 84.
Right. I think there was a UFO flap around 83, wasn't there?
I don't know.
There was when I had my sighting in 76. I think it sort of follows through. There's quite a lot of reports in 83, I'm sure there is. But that's just amazing. How far, well, you probably can't judge. I'm going to say, how far away do you think it was?
Oh, altitude-wise, I'd say maybe 20,000 feet, roughly.
Wow.
The high altitude, it's just a little black dot, just went. It couldn't have been a satellite because it was too low for a satellite. Yeah. So that was my very first UFO sighting as a young kid. Just innocently going out with an airband radio to listen to aircraft. And even my dad pointed it out. He was like, look at that. And it was just a little black dot, just a massive rate of knots gone.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's what, like I say, first interested me in the paranormal. Yeah, definitely.
So have you seen more UFOs since then?
Yeah, I've seen, about 4 or 5, I think, UFOs. The next one I saw, where was that again? I was sat outside, not far from Humber Bridge, actually. It's on the Humber Estuary.
Yep.
There's a pub there's a place called Hessel Haven, and that's where boats used to be made from a ship person called Dunstan's, I think it was, shipbuilders. Right. And I was sat outside there with my family and some family friends who was outside on, the benches outside. Yeah. And the moon was behind us, and there was a cloud in front of us, glowing white, like pulsating white. Right. And I thought, what the hell's that? And everybody saw it, it was all, what could be causing that? We know that the flight path to Humberside Airport is to the left of that, because they approach over Hull, overhead, and then go to Humberside Airport from the North Lincolnshire point there. Right. Yeah. But this cloud was, I would say, from where I was, over New Holland, I think it was, New Holland. Yeah. So it was just a cloud glowing in the sky on its own, pulsating. I put that down to something unusual. I can't say if it was a UFO or what, but it was just unusual to have a pulsating cloud that was lit up.
It could have been a cloud being used as a cloak. Whatever was doing the lighting thing was behind it, and it was showing.
Who knows?
You hear about that a lot, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, remind me later on when you ask me later on about my thoughts on UFOs and stuff. Remind me to say about the cloud, a lighting up cloud. Remind me, because that comes into it. Anyway, my third one was when I was in the forces, early 2000s. I was on home leave on the weekend, and at that point, my sister was married, and I used to go around to hers, spend time with her and her husband, as you do. Yeah. And we went for a walk in this area known as Brantinghamdale Forest. Anyone that comes from Hull or Yorkshire, East Riding may know that area quite well. But anyway, I was in Brantinghamdale Forest. It'd been heavily snowing, and we was walking along this. It was covered by a canopy of trees. It's a heavily, forestry area. And it has roads up it all over the place, windy roads, up hills, down hills. And anyway, we was walking down this corner, and all of a sudden, there was this almighty kind of through the canopy of the trees. And it was almost as if something from the sky had fallen and come through the canopy of trees. And I was expecting an impact, but there wasn't. So I hit the deck into the snow face first, and I looked up and saw this silver object that had lights on it. And it was just a literal, not even a second. It was a quick glance and cover, because I was scared at that point. Yeah. I'm not scared to admit, or frightened to admit that I was scared, because it was just unexpected, totally out of the blue.
Oh yeah.
My sister and husband at the time, what the hell was that? I was like, well, what did you see? Because I hit the deck and I quickly glanced up, and all I saw was a big silver object with a couple of lights on it. So what did you see? I was like, we don't know, we're faced away. I was like, oh, great. But that really freaked me out. I do not know to this day what it is. I mean, I don't even talk to my sister now, so I don't even know what she's, from that, early 2001, 2002-ish, I think that was. But yeah, I still don't know what that was to this day. I just know that I crapped myself and hit the deck. Yeah. And the third, what am I on, the fourth one now? Yeah. Fourth one, I was with my partner and my boys going to a pub to have a meal. It's one of our favourite places to go for a meal, believe it or not. And it's a big busy road. It's like a main artery road. It's not a dual carriage or anything. It's just a normal. For those in Hull, it's Willoughby Road.
Right. Yeah.
And it has houses either side, a central reservation, just a single lane either way. But it's really busy. And we was pulling off the intersection to go down into a housing estate area to go around the back into the pub, into the rare car park for the pub. So as we was turning down, going down this housing estate, there was an object in the sky. It looked exactly like how an aircraft releases chaffs from the side of the aircraft.
Yeah.
And it just disappeared into nothingness. So I just saw these flares coming out the side, and there was nothing there. And you think, well, what was it? Somebody must have seen that because it was over the main road. So if you're driving, you would see it. Yeah. No idea what that was. It was just releasing chaffs all over the place and disappeared. Disappeared into nothing. Yeah. That was about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
My partner saw something in a field as I was driving home from Withersea, on the right of us. I think it was near, what's the name of that place? Beeford or somewhere like that near Withersea.
Right.
She saw. Sorry.
There's been a report from near Withersea just recently, I think.
Oh, has he?
Of a craft, yeah, in the last 3 months or so.
Wow, strange. Yeah, very odd. Yeah, she saw something in a field I was driving, and she was like, "Oh, look at that! What is it?" And I was like, "I ain't got a clue. What is it?" You're driving, you can't see, but yeah, she saw something. And yeah, she's not big on UFOs as my partner, but for her to see something, and something weird in the field, interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Especially like you said, she's not really into that sort of thing, and she sees something that's sort of more credible as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. When you get someone who's not, it's like me. I'm not a big fan of cryptids and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm interested because I want to know what people have seen and what they know of cryptids. But I'm not big on cryptids. Do you know?
It's not your thing.
Yeah, true. UFOs, my thing, really.
Yeah. I think we all have a favourite thing, though, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, that answers the second question.
Yeah. What subject fascinates you the most?
What's the subject fascinates you the most?
Definitely UFOs because we can't be the only ones in this universe. It's huge, masses and masses of galaxies, and that's right.
Though, in the 90s and early 2000s, I was absolutely just UFOs. That was it. I wasn't interested in anything else. Wasn't bothered about Bigfoot. Wasn't any cryptids. Even I was seeing other stuff. It didn't bother me.
Same as me.
Also, didn't bother me. I was just wanting to know what UFOs were, where they went, and where they come from.
Yeah.
Do you remember a film called Enemy of the Mine?
No.
A guy. It's an old 80s film, but it's quite a modern sci-fi sort of film. And he gets pally with this alien, and he ends up being his best buddy and tries to save its life, because he stepped through a minefield, hence the name. And my uncle asked if he could borrow a video, because I think my dad had hide it out back then, from a video shop. Said, "Oh, can I borrow it for a night?" Yeah, of course you can, because then he lives, not that far away. And I watched it with him, and I just said, is this possible? Can somebody be a friend with an alien? Being a young kid at that time. And it makes you think, this day and age, when you hear stories of what the people, I've listened to a lot of podcasts lately, I'll say. I don't know if you want me to say the name of it or the channel or anything. It's called, if you want. All right, it's called UFO Chronicles on Spotify.
Yes.
Right, okay.
And this goes, it talks about, people with experiences of abduction, UFO sightings, or anything, related to UFOs. And some of the stories I hear on there, you think they're probably more closer to the aliens than their own family, by the amount of times that they've been abducted. And you think, it makes you, it gets your brain cogs working, and you think, what? How can that be?
Yeah.
How can that be?
The thing that makes me question that, I do believe that people have been abducted, but the question I want to know is, why is it specific people? What is it about the people that they're taking that make them come back to them over and over again?
I think they've got something, whether it's to do with the genetics, DNA,
hybrid,
chromosomes, whatever it is, it's something in their body that they want or need to do whatever they're doing. But so I've got
what's their agenda?
Yeah. So I've got a story. I do think, so this is going to sound ridiculous now, I do think I've seen an alien. Yeah. But I'll tell you after this.
Right.
I don't want to put it out there yet because I've never told one other person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to you first, see what you think, and then decide whether I'll talk about it next week or the week after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah? So keep
that sounds all right,
guys. You might get the story that has never been told.
Yes.
Okay.
An exclusive.
It's a weird one. Very. Yeah. But so I was just going to say, I used to have a lot of dreams about being abducted. I don't know if you ever listened to when we did the shows on that. I found a piece of plastic inside my nostril.
Oh yes.
It was about 1 centimetre long. It was probably, I don't know if you can see. So see those tablets?
Yeah.
It was probably about the length of that, but half the width.
Right. So it was like
that
a
one,
thin...
the one in the middle there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I woke up in the middle of the night. I could feel something in my nose. And I was, you know, when you're semi-conscious.
Yeah.
And it's like I just knew how to get it out of my nose. And I literally
picked it out.
had my hand inside my nose, getting out, covered in blood.
Oh.
Obviously, I'm ripping at the inside of my nose. I managed to get this little thing out like that, and I got a white desk like this, and I put it on there. Like I said, there's blood on my hand, and I just left it on top. It didn't roll off. I could see where it was. Anyway, I woke up in the morning, and it had gone. And there's no blood.
Interesting.
There's
odd. No blood on my hand. There's no blood anywhere.
Was it a pee?
Yeah.
But you know when you can smell blood, can't you?
Yeah.
Coppery.
Yeah. I had that smell. I didn't even have to have the light on to know there's blood all over my hand.
Yeah, because it's that sticky as well,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah. The hemoglobin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then the next morning I woke up, nothing there. But I've had all these dreams about I've been like star watching, and there's all these ships and that in the sky, and there's like a battle going on.
Yeah.
And then I'd see the same old bloke, so like glasses, grey, going bald on top. I'd say late 60s, early 70s, and he'd always say to me, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to be able to see this. How can you see what's going on?" And then I'd start running away from him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I have no idea what that's about.
I have a mark on my leg, sat on the bottom of one of my legs, like a little red dot. I don't know how I got it, but every now and again it has an itch. And do you know when you run your finger over the skin and it has a little hard patch?
Yes.
You think, what is that? And it's been there for quite a number of years now. But you just think, what is it?
I've got one.
Have it? Could it be an insect bite or something? I don't know.
I did think at one point, I did think it was maybe a tick bite, but there's nothing in there. It's hard and it's red.
But it itches.
It itches, but it doesn't itch all the time.
No.
But when it does, it's like it's continually, you can't get it. You make it sore by itching it.
Yeah, that's right.
You forget about it for months and months until it does it again.
Yeah, but you think, have I been abducted or something?
Well, you do,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. I've got a
Just
clue.
reminded me. I'd say it was mid to late 90s, because I remember where I was working at the time. I had a lump on my arm there, right there, and it felt like there's something inside it. So I got some tweezers. I pretty much cut into my hand and pulled this white. I don't know what it was. It was like a white ball. I thought
Interesting.
it was bone that had come up, and someone said it might have been
a
BB
gun.
BB, yeah.
No?
I was thinking that.
Yeah, but it's nothing like that. And someone said it could have been a calcium coming up through your skin, but I'd never heard of that before.
I haven't.
But I pulled it out. There's no scar there, nothing. That didn't bleed when I pulled it out.
Sounds odd.
Strange. Yeah.
That was as big as one of them tablets.
Yeah.
So you can see, compared to me,
quite some size then, really.
It hurt, feel it, but there's no blood.
Yeah.
So I just got some water, wiped it. I was at work when I did it. I just wiped it over. When we jumped back down, it's fine.
Yeah.
Never thought anything
Interesting.
ever again. And you just reminded me of you saying that.
That's strange.
That's two things I reminded you about now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
There's only one more, and then we're done.
Yeah, crazy, yeah. There's a lot of things. I think I also saw something else when I was a kid. I was big into it when I was a little kid. It's such a fascination. It's almost like a fine line between obsession, isn't it?
Yeah.
When it's almost thrown at you, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, War of the Worlds, and countless E.T. There's so many things out there, but it's like we always talk about. Is this drip feeding us? We are. Don't be wrong. The US government have already said that these things exist. How more clear could you get that? So these things exist. So what else are they trying to slowly drip feed to us? So we know that UFOs exist. So from the 80s, when everything was hush-hush, the Cold War was on, nuclear weapons, everything, Armageddon. And then all of a sudden, these UFO films start coming on, Close Encounter of the Third Kind, almost on a realistic scale. Trying to get the words out then. On a realistic scale, because once this guy, the main actor in Close Encounter, he just went for a drive out on the night and then saw these people acting strange on the side of the road there. And all these red orbs flying over there really high speed. And then the next minute, military aircraft are chasing them. So you think, this has been happening in real life as well. F-18 pilots have come out. This was discussed on the Joe Rogan show. The F-18 pilots that was there actually was being interviewed and said, that these things almost was in a ball and the things was turning inside the ball or the sphere, the orb, whichever it was, to be called. Yeah. So we know that these have got very futuristic or far advanced technology compared to us. You can even see the jelly air, I call it. So when you look at the back of an aircraft and you see all that air that looks like jelly, you can almost see a little bit of that underneath, whichever way the thing rotates inside the sphere. So, we're talking massive enhanced technology, propulsion systems.
Yeah.
That are not...
Isn't it that you mean the jelly stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I just call it jelly air. I think there's another word for it. I can't remember what it is. Heat waves, I suppose. A mirage.
Yeah.
It's like when it's really hot and you're looking down the road and you can see...
it's shimmering.
Yeah. Or even on top of your car when it's really hot weather, you see the little air thing.
Heat waves.
That's right.
Heat waves.
That's right. So when we go back to Jeremy Corbell, when we look at the Bob Lazar, and he talks about the element 115, and he shows a little video on, I don't know if you've seen the program or the film that he made. It's like a film documentary all about Bob Lazar. And he shows you this little piece of element 115. And he denies it's 115 because the next minute he had the FBI and CIA knocking on his door whilst this documentary film was being made. I'm not using the Bob Lazar case as everything's gospel because I don't know the whole truth, but I do believe his story. I think that that it's credible because the US government has hidden everything about his past. Why would they do that if they're not, if he's not done anything? Exactly. So there's lots of questions, lots of theories, lots of conspiracies about him, but it opens other doors for questions, such as what he knew when the UFOs or experiments was flying outside Area 51 and the location to go see them. So if he didn't work there, how did he know that? It's inside information. So there's lots of theories out there. But this element 115 was used to actually used for the propulsion of this UFO in its mechanics of something. I forgot what the word is. Something quantum physics, is it? I think it is. Yeah. Quantum physics. There's absolutely massive. It's massively complex when it comes to this sort of thing, So I do believe that, he claims that they're in Site 6 off Area 51, 6 miles southeast of the base, and this is into a massive mountainside, the entrance to the actual bunker. And in there, he has, I think he said there was a 9 UFOs in the hangar there, where there was reverse engineering them. So and his job was to try and reverse engineer it, try and find out how these systems defy gravity and propel forward at massive, rate of knots.
It's amazing.
It is. It's absolutely fascinating.
I've read a couple of UFO books lately, and one of the theories is that it's a bit like astral travel. They think where they want to go, and the brain connects with the vehicle that they're in, and they're off.
Yeah. I think that
and that is amazing.
I think the future of flight. I mean, look at us now. We've got drones that can drop laser-guided missiles, precision-guided JDAMs, precision, to this little pinpoint accuracy.
Millimetre of a millimetre.
Yeah, and these can be flown from RAF Waddington in Lincolnshire all the way, flying a device over Afghanistan or Syria, wherever it was. So, we're moving on vastly in technology. So what else are we going to be advancing in areas that we probably don't even know about? There was talks of these black triangles with lights out of the corner being mistaken for UFOs. But in fact, apparently the US had said, this is not said. I think it was on the Blue Project.
Yeah.
Or Project Blue Book. And there was talks of it being in there. So it's difficult, isn't it?
Sorry, just quickly. Yeah. Do you think that you saying like they think of somewhere and they get there? Do you think that they're bending time and space to get there quicker?
It's possible.
Or they just have the technology to travel at that speed.
I mean, when you look at programs such as Star Trek and they use warp speed, where did that idea come from?
Well, it must have come from somewhere.
Exactly.
But the way I was. Hi, Kaylee. The way I was told about, or not told.
Hi, Kaylee.
When I learned about the way that they bend light, it's like a sheet of paper. Something goes in the middle and it pushes it down. So then it brings point A and point B closer together.
It's vacuums in a vacuum.
Yeah.
A black hole.
Yeah, so it pushes down and it brings point A, where they are, to point B, where they want to travel, closer together. So then they're only travelling that and not the full distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's technically how you bend light or bend time or whatever.
I think when you listen to people like Patrick Moore, obviously he's no longer with us, but when you listen to him and what's the other guy? The other guy who was
Damien.
It was
not Damien.
They made a film on him. He was in an electric wheelchair.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawkins. Yeah. when you listen to their quotes, their theories, it almost it's like listening to David Bellamy, Richard Attenborough about wildlife, as if it's the most natural thing in the world, you know.
Yeah.
And then you listen to Patrick Moore and the other guy, Stephen Hawkins, they talk about it as well as it's almost like a natural thing ever, you know. The possibility of extraterrestrial life is possible. And, you know, you kind of think these guys are massively on the intelligence scale there, you know.
Yeah.
Universities, the top universities in the world.
Yeah.
But if you were to talk to another student from a university of that sort and say, you know, what's your thoughts on the existence of extraterrestrials? They'll look at you like, you know, look down at you down the nose and, pathetic. You know, they don't exist. But these guys have gone through the mill of all these universities. They've studied very hard for their degrees in what they do. They've had, the theory of relativity, everything else. So these are very intelligent guys with a massive theory on the existence of extraterrestrials. The possibility of it, you know, it's not a million miles away, but, you know, these massive telescopes that they have in space, is it the Hubble or something?
Yeah, there's one better than the Hubble, isn't there now?
Yeah, that's right. I'd be interested to see what they've got on files that they've not shown us.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well,
Joe's asking how many types of... Sorry, Andy, go on.
No, I was just going to say, I've actually met Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah, I have. It sounds more interesting than what it actually is. I used to work for Amazon and deliver to his house.
All right.
No way.
Well, I've still seen him, still met him.
Fair
yeah, absolutely.
I was chatting with his people for about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he used to live in Cambridge. Well, he's born and bred in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
well, that's a good claim to fame, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I used
one of the most intelligent men in the world.
He was a professor at the Advanced Maths College. I can't remember the name of it without looking it up. I used to see him going past when I was delivering there as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was literally like 3-4 streets away from his house.
That is crazy, that.
It is.
I know, yeah. It's mad. It's very mad.
Crazy. It's amazing. It is amazing how many people actually adored him, you know, would do anything for him just to speak to him. Never mind knock on his door and deliver an Amazon package. That's crazy.
It was a book, and obviously he couldn't actually deliver it. And I was talking to one of his aides, and he was saying it'll be one of his students sending him a gift to say thank you. He goes, he gets it all the time. So, yeah.
Awesome claim to fame, that, Andy.
Yeah.
Not a bad one, is it? I like that
better than James Goldman, anyway.
Better than
I just want to say, I've just seen in the comments my partner Kaylee, if you can see her, Kaylee Hartung, she's just put like our son, hey Mike, my son, he's just passed he's done a lot of good in his exams. He's going into kind of like computer engineering. Making online, games for consoles. And he's heading that way with the results that he got. Definitely. Excellent. So, top effort, Declan.
Yeah.
Very proud of him.
Well done.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Just had to get it in.
Right. Joe was asking beforehand how many types of aliens there are.
How many types of aliens do I think there are?
We're about 17.
I really don't know.
Well, there's the Greys and the Nordics and the Reptilians, so that's 3.
And then you've got ones from can't say
and
Andromeda.
From what I've understood, listening to Travis Walter, he said that even in his film Fire in the Sky, it showed Greys pulling him by the legs to the operating table, or examination table. So there's Greys. He also said that he was in a waiting area of some sort. I don't know. Almost like a transitioning to go back to being delivered or dropped off back on Earth again to where he came from. Said that there was people that looked like humans with long blonde hair, but had a unusual, Nordics.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I wouldn't even have a clue how many other alien species are out there. I can honestly say I've not really looked that much into it. I think it's maybe the greys that interest me the most, purely because of the way they look. They have a kind of almost a sinister look to them, but also friendly. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I just right? I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Quickly, while I remember. So, but it's a theory stroke question. Now, my theory is the small greys, not the tall ones, or the ones that look the same. I've read and heard it in a couple of different places. It does make sense that they're actually clones, and they send them out. Yeah, so they send them out in the ships and that to go wherever. So if anything happens to them, technically it doesn't matter because they've got thousands more of these with the same mindset.
Bit like worker bees or ants.
Yeah. So they know how to project. Once that body dies, they know how to project out of that body to go back and go into another one.
I've heard that recently,
that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I heard it a few years ago. I heard it about 6 months ago.
Right. Is that quite a well-known theory? Is that just your own theory, or is it quite a theory that's...
I heard someone talking about it, and then I just, for days, I was just thinking about it. It's like, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to all these different planets and lands and this, that, and the other, they're going into our... They don't know what the atmosphere is like. We don't know what they need to breathe, whether it's oxygen and nitrogen and carbon, whatever gases there are. They might not know what gases are on that planet, so they could get there and suffocate straight away. So they're checking all the time, saying, "Oh, right, well, we know we can't send them there because of this. We'll try something else." So on and so on. So they're not losing life as such because they're just using like organic robots, really, aren't they? That's all they are.
Yeah.
But sorry, my next question is: do you think they are from different planets, or do you think they're hollow Earth, inner Earth?
Inner Earth, as in under the grounds of this planet?
Yes.
Well, they have been seen around our oceans a lot, and I do believe that they are under our oceans or in a core area. Yeah. It's possible, I guess. It's possible, but I do think that they're also coming from somewhere from outer space.
Yeah.
I mean, look at when you see the ISS and you see the astronauts doing moonwalking or whatever it is that they do to maintenance on the ISS. You know, there's been released footage from NASA from it possible either space debris or something that is of an intelligence under intelligent control.
Yeah.
So that's evidence that they're coming from somewhere out of this planet. But I do think I don't know. I do feel like there's an agenda that they are under our ground.
They was already
I mean, the theories are coming from Paul Sinclair that there's something. Was it one of his guests or something like that? One of his witnesses came to him and said that he felt the vibration from Bempton Cliffs under his feet. And it wasn't the sea. It wasn't the sea because it was out.
Yeah.
Right.
So what could that be? And there's lots of weird things being going on around Bempton, hasn't there? As it's all been documented.
Yeah.
I've had a sonic boom from under the sea at Flamborough Head.
Wow.
It started at the beginning, in front of us, because we were sat in front of the cafe looking out to sea, and there was this massive boom underneath, and it sounded like it came out from the sea and it rolled under the ground, and then there was a massive boom at the back of us. Now, somebody said, "Oh, it's the caves, the water in the caves." Now, I've heard that before somewhere else, and it sounded nothing like this. This travelled right through the earth and kind of stopped halfway and then appeared at the back again, with like a 5-second delay between, but it was a proper sonic boom under the earth.
Yeah.
Paul says they've been heard there before, but usually at night, not during the day. And this was like midday.
Crazy, isn't it? A lot of things have been happening during the day, you know, unusual I mean, that old couple who lost time during the day.
Well, sorry, I was just going to say, this is why I want to do a couple of investigations during the day in the afternoon, because at night, people they do it at night because it's a better atmosphere.
Yeah.
But if you read, I'd say at least 70% of reports, like especially big cats, the UFOs that I've seen have all been during the day.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one at night. It's
I
always
haven't
been
either.
daylight.
Yeah.
Ghosts and stuff that I've seen have been, other than the ones at Kingsthorpe and that, have been during the day or in a house.
Yeah.
It's never been, very rare finding anything at night.
Well, that's something that we need to talk about, isn't it? Is a ghost investigation in Hull. Definitely.
Yeah, that's on the cards no matter what.
Absolutely. There's a friend of mine called Nick Moore. You might have heard of him or seen him on the chat. We're going to team up as well and do an investigation. Sorry, my partner's just told me that my mic's too close. Is it too loud?
A little bit.
No, it was a bit.
Is that better?
Before,
that's better.
When you was breathing, but
okay.
Don't worry about
All right, okay.
We're not professional yet. It doesn't matter.
Me professional.
Well,
I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, an investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Nick.
Yeah, definitely. I know that he wants to come along with this paranormal that we're going to do collectively. Because he has a full spectrum camera. I don't know if he's watching. Nick, if you're watching, he has a full spectrum camera. Yeah, I'm going to look at getting one as well. They're a very affordable price, and definitely
just over £100, aren't they?
Yeah.
I actually messaged the company that make them, and they sent me all the details on that. I just need to convince.
I know the feeling. I'm just going to get it as a Christmas present.
Yeah,
might do that. Buy myself a Christmas present, and that's what it's going to
be. So I'm going to do an investigation with you lot, and I've got a few others up my sleeve as well, which I need to do. I might do one for a Halloween special, one which is not being explored by other people, as far as I'm led to believe.
Right, that sounds
good. I've got permission from the manager, so big thumbs up to that.
Cool.
Excellent.
Right, quickly, while you're talking about that, I need to throw this in.
Yeah,
I've been in touch with him. I've put it on Facebook. Not sure if who's seen it, because I know a lot of people on YouTube don't use Facebook, and that's why I use both platforms. I'm in touch with a museum in Northampton. We can go and do a night investigation. It's from 7 p.m. till midnight. They've averaged between 26 and 40 people before now. There's a cooling out area, so like a room with tables and chairs. You can set up a projector and screen if you need one. We have all access to all the public areas, including the grounds. The only thing I need to do, I don't want to book it because it's not cheap. So if there was 20 people going, it'd be about £35 a ticket.
All right, okay. So is that each?
Each, yeah. So the more people that go, the cheaper it's going to be. But we don't want too many.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had confirmation that we can book it. I just need to let them know as and when. All I'm going to say is that it will be a Saturday night. And there's plenty of parking around there.
One thing I will not do though, on Paranormal is a Ouija board. Me and my partner do not believe in that, because you're just going to bring out the worst of the paranormal.
You don't know what you're going to get.
Exactly. It's just opening the door to anything.
I've never done one. Yeah, never done one. I've done a seance, but that's it. But so I'm going to put that on the website with a link on Facebook, so you will have to go on the website. I'm pushing the website as much as I can. All the information for events and investigations and guests coming on the show are only going to be on the website.
Yeah.
So you do need to start looking on there. I've put the link in the comments, and I've put it on the banner as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we do this as collectively with I'd say not just us, me and my partner, Debbie and Andy, I think if a group of people actually came along with this, it's a free thing. It's not going to cost anybody other than just your fuel.
Yeah.
Just getting
I think
there,
if we
isn't it?
did this, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's from to hull into it. If you want to make it worthwhile, I think a large group of people, because we can spot off in different groups,
Yeah.
because it's a big area to cover. I think it'd be well
We wouldn't-
worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have to do a live stream. We could just
Yeah.
do individual recording.
That's right. That's right.
And then
And then-
whoever can go can get to join in and see what we do on a normal week.
Yeah.
Week.
Yeah. Well,
But you're a normal week, I'll go out investigating
We can
cemeteries.
we can still film. Yeah, I mean, we can still film it, can't we, to capture the paranormal?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll do some filming. I've got the rig set up now. So Colin, the most generous guy ever, sent me a gimbal.
he did.
All right.
I'll show you quickly.
I won't mind the gimbal.
So it's the free. So it's got the 3 axes on it, and it's got all the control panel on there. So what I did, because I didn't want to carry loads of stuff, I bought an arm for it, and now I've got 2 lights on the front.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
I've got that, and that's all I'm going to take. And a torch.
Are they just normal torches, or are they infrared?
So it's these ones. You can see it. So the rechargeable.
Yeah.
It's got a UV light on it. This is when, remember I put a question on, I'll send you the link from Amazon. I put a question about IR and UV being,
Yes.
Yeah.
are they the same thing?
No.
I was looking
Yeah.
online, and someone was, I know they're not now, but someone was saying, yeah, IR is UV, it's a black light. But I thought, well, how can it be? IR is infrared, UV is ultraviolet. Surely they're 2
Ultraviolet,
different things.
Yeah.
But nothing, I couldn't get a positive answer. So even though it was probably the most stupid question I'd asked.
It's
I
not a
just didn't
stupid
know.
question. Yeah, exactly.
I just
You
didn't
either
the
know or you
answer
don't
to
know.
it. Yeah. But these have got, like I said, so I won't put it on dead bright, but let's see if you can see. So that's the UV one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You see how it, yeah.
Blacklight,
Yeah.
it's also
And
known
then-
as.
Yeah. And then you've got a little side light. I'm trying not to blind you all. And then you got red. Then it flashes red and white for like emergency, like
Yeah.
SOS sort of thing.
Hmm.
2 of them for about between £8 and £12 on Amazon,
See, that's
just
not bad.
depending
Wow.
on who you get them from. I said they're
Wow.
rechargeable. Yeah, about click with them. Oh, they're zoomable as well.
Yeah.
But first box I bought only had 1 torch in it. So I contacted Amazon. He said, "Oh well, because it's a third party, goes, we won't keep hold of it. We'll give you the money back, and then you just buy another one once the money's back in your account." So that's what I did. So I've ended up with 3 of them for
Brilliant.
£11.50,
Yeah.
Wow.
and they are really good.
Yeah, good.
Mark's got the same ones. Alan Bettridge, it was him that sent me the link for him. Sure, it was.
Yeah, I'd be interested in looking at the links to some IR lights and stuff as well. But I need to look. I mean, I will go for that. What you were mentioned about that paranormal camera with IR lights on it as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a good investment.
Spectrum, that one, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. It's a good investment, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for a YouTube channel, to do that. But yeah, it's a bit. For my head, it's £90 for the basic setup, but 120 or 110 for an extra big battery. A big battery pack with it. Yeah.
Well, it's like that. It's like a GoPro.
Yeah.
Then you've got the camera, and then you've got the big power bank,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all same sort of thing. It's on a stand like that, and that's all you need. It's got full spectrum.
Yeah, and it's a good piece of kit.
Right, they're 80 quid on their own.
Yeah, that's
that
it.
size.
I don't mind paying
And
that.
then you've got to put it on a rig and build it up and everything else. So this is why I sound bad, but this is why we ask for donations, because it is so expensive. It's only it's a few quid in, a few quid there, but it all adds up. It's like the
Yeah, it does.
radios. Luckily, the missus bought me them for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
I
that saved me 20, 30 quid.
I think I got I don't know where it is. It's around somewhere, a K2 meter. You're being about £27 off Amazon or something.
Yeah.
But it pays off in the long run eventually. I mean, you know, you can't get them elsewhere that cheap. I don't think you can, but it's a good quality product, you know, so you don't mind paying for that.
Do you know what? I was looking, I thought, I'll have a look on Wish. Even on Wish, it's 25 quid.
Yeah, exactly.
You get stuff from there for free.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for packs. You don't have the stuff.
That's it. I mean, I've also been looking on Wish for, because I'm also thinking of doing my own podcast series called the M Files.
Yeah.
I've got the very basic introduction set up. You might be able to find it on Spotify, called the M Files.
Yeah.
And I'm just sort of, I don't know, I'm trying to get your confidence up a little bit to do that. I've got the people who are willing to do it already because they told me that they're willing to come on. Right. It's getting the script up, you know, ready with the questions to think of.
Talk to you about that?
Possibly.
I can send you a couple of links to that if you want.
Yeah, even the editing, I'm wondering about, you know, how do I do that? I can edit a video, but when it comes to sound, it's a different thing, isn't it? It's a bit different. It's probably a bit different.
Yeah.
So, I
can make videos. Yeah, I can make videos and do all that and put the own sound in. But when it comes to changing like sound that's already on there, I've got to clear it all off and do it from scratch.
Yeah, I'm going to look into it a bit further and get the ball rolling with it.
Yeah. Well, are you available tomorrow morning?
I think so.
Right, I'll give you a bell tomorrow morning.
Okay, no worries.
I need to speak to I need to speak to Colin, but I'll give you a bell first. Be about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I
should be up about then. I usually put about 8:30, 9 o'clock. So yeah.
Right. All right. I just need to. If I don't write it down now, you won't get a phone call. I'll forget.
Right, I've got another question, Mike.
Right. Yeah, fire ahead.
Where's the one place in the world you'd love to investigate if money was no object?
I think, what's it called? The ranch, Skinwalker Ranch.
Skinwalker Ranch,
yeah. That's the most popular, I think. But I would also like to investigate Bermuda Triangle. I think that's got quite a lot of questions to be asked there, and a lot of you know, things have gone missing, ships, planes, and everything, boats. They've all gone missing. But why? Is it something to do with the North Pole and the South Pole and the magnetic north?
Yeah.
Compass variations. I don't know. But also Benton Cliffs has also been described as the Bermuda Triangle of the UK.
It has.
And
Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
It's someone's wanting to get in the fridge. That's all.
Yeah.
Making a brew, I think. Hey.
Yeah.
Pop the kettle on. We'll all have them.
Have you heard about the Bridgewater Triangle?
Yes.
I can't. I have, to be honest.
I think that's one which is New England, like with the Jersey Devil and all that, and along like the east coast of America.
Yeah.
But it's like just below the point of Canada and down the east coast. Can't remember how far.
Yeah. My partner's just mentioned in the comments Buckingham Palace. I've been to Buckingham Palace, I think about 2 years ago now. And the history, it's just seething with history. People, you know, like Queen Victoria. I don't know. I mean, even Hitler wanted to be in the Buckingham Palace during World War II. He wanted to invade it and own it. Good point, Kaylee, about the Buckingham Palace. Well, yeah, I think so. He wanted it as his home, didn't he, or something?
Yeah.
I mean, even Westminster. Look at the history in there.
Well, yeah, everything there.
Pendle Hill as well. That's got a lot of strange history to it. Very sinister history.
A lot of strange things happen on Pendle Hill as well.
Yeah, but this was like, yeah, I wasn't ghost hunting. We'd been out to a nightclub and we all drove up there and carried on partying.
I drove past it last year. Yeah, I drove past it last year when I was on a holiday to the Lake District, and I was like, "No way! I didn't realise Pendle Hill was there. I always thought it was in Wales. I don't know why." Stonehenge as well. Very interesting. Yeah. I'm not sure if that has relations with UFO Stonehenge. I really don't know. It's an interesting.
I'll look into that, actually.
Yeah, I've driven past there.
Yeah,
I've never been. I'm sure there are UFO sightings around there.
Definitely.
I remember ages ago watching a video of some guy was doing some filming there, and he takes a still, and it looks like there's a grey. It's like using one of the stones as camouflage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't. It could have been photoshopped or anything, but you can't really tell, to be honest.
There's a lot of cheers, Max. Miss, I just got me a brew. Top Gun one as well. Top Gun.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And my partner's Tom Cruise.
You need to get a code to your known one.
Yeah.
I need more hair for a start. Stonehenge. I don't know. I know that a lot of people go there to take what's it called? Photography in the night time. Is it astral photography or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. There's lots of spiritual gatherings there as well, aren't they? Of the spiritual side of things, and there's always the questions. Is the paranormal, such as spirits and ghosts, cryptids, all related, and UFOs related, and it's all intermingled as one big cluster of mystery, And I think certainly Stonehenge comes into that, such as the pyramids as well. The pyramids in Egypt, the ancient carvings on the stone of UFOs as well.
Yeah.
It's a hard question. Are they all intermingled into one big ball of every question that man wants to know? Is it all in that ball? Who knows? Yeah. It baffles the brain.
I think there's threads that interconnect everything.
Yeah, intertwined and connected somewhere. Yeah,
I don't think there was. I don't think there was initially, but as time's gone on, the connection between them is something's happened, and now they're all part of each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't like using the word paranormal because paranormal to me is like ghosts and that.
Yeah.
That's why originally it was called Codes of the Paranormal and changed it to Codes of the Unknown, because it is a lot of the stuff is unknown. We know bits, but we don't know the truth. We don't know what's really going on.
No, we're always asking ourselves.
This stuff, there is I do believe that everything is connected. See, the Stonehenge and that, obviously, I don't know if you know, there's more than one henge there. They just stones aren't there anymore. They're all built on the mounds around Salisbury.
Yeah.
You've got Avebury, Silbury.
You've also got strange buildings. And, so when we look at Area 51, it's in the middle of the desert, middle of nowhere. But I've seen YouTubers. You may have seen these YouTubers. They've gone underground in a location that's unknown. I don't know where it is. I think it's down south somewhere.
Right.
They've gone underground, and it goes on for a long, long while underground. You're talking big, heavy rocks above your head.
Yeah.
Boulders everywhere. And you can get lost in there quite easily. But this goes on for maybe 2 miles underground. I may be exaggerating slightly. A mile, more than that, I don't know. Then they come up to a red door in the rocks with cameras, CCTV cameras. Some people in the chat may know who I'm talking about. I don't want to mention their names because there's a few reasons why I don't want to. But it's military.
Yeah.
Because it says, this is blah, blah, blah. You can't come in. And because of urban explorers have been going there so many times, they know where this is. they've blocked, they've blockaded the entrance, so you can't actually get close up to the red door anymore to document it. So what's this place then?
Right.
Is it UK's Area 51? They've been in also too in another area, sort of 51, where the RAF had a base, or Ministry of Defence had a base, and it looked like a very nice area, very well, well-to-do people around there. And apparently it's where UFO reports came into the MOD.
Right.
And now it's abandoned. So these guys have gone in there, all guns blazing with the cameras and being escorted off by the security.
Yeah.
Lots of strange things. In our own country, other than just Area 51 and the Skinwalker Ranch in America, I think I like to look more closely at home and in our own country. And this is what my big interest with the Truth Proof is, as well as your channel. We love to investigate, we love to probe, we love to ask questions, we love to find out what this truth is. Because every man on this planet always asks the question, is there aliens, do ghosts exist? I know for a fact they exist, ghosts. Yeah. And I believe in UFOs 100%. They've been admitted, the truth has come out. And I'm certain that the Royal Air Force online, I think around about 2010, maybe earlier than that, actually stated on the webpage, you remember when they made this Freedom of Information Act's come out, and you can obtain documents of UFO reports within the Royal Air Force and the Ministry of Defence. They also stated that, yes, UFOs do exist. I am certain of it. And now you cannot find it anywhere. I've been looking all over to do a screenshot of it and go, there you go, there I've admitted it.
Yeah.
Odd.
Yeah. Very odd. Right, I've got my last. No, it's not my last
that
question.
Place that you're thinking is it?
Sorry, go on.
All right, quickly. Is it called Portadown?
Portadown.
It could very well be, but it may not. No, actually, no, it's not. I do believe that Portadown. Even Debbie might know this, with her partner being in the Ministry of Defence, or is it a civil worker? Is called?
He's a civil servant now, but he has been.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, Portadown, I do believe, was where they tested chemical warfare type of things, pharmaceutical things for soldiers, troops. But I'm not sure if it was anything to do with UFOs, that area. I really don't know.
No, I think it was more experimental.
Well, the name Caution comes to rings a bell. I don't know. Cheers, Max.
Yeah.
I was you froze. I was doing a job down there and I actually got onto the site, and he asked one of the guys, "What do you do down there?" And he said, "Oh, we do experiments for the military." And I know it's weapons and all that, but I'm not asking anything else because he's already told me that. He probably should have said that, let alone. You know what I mean? I was only on there half an hour, 40 minutes. Yeah.
I've got a friend, I've just seen in the comments, Rendlesham Forest. No, it's not Rendlesham Forest, it's somewhere else. It's a Royal Air Force or Ministry of Defence establishment, this. But this underground facility, I do believe on the ground, above ground, is another tunnel to a possible nuclear bunker. But it's not far away from that bunker. Right. Do you know what I mean? It's in the vicinity. Yeah. Lots of strange stuff. But Rendlesham Forest, that's another one. I am meeting somebody around Rendlesham Forest and making a video there. I think there's a UFO trail there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
I interviewed a guy. I interviewed a guy, but he's not answering his phone anymore. He's seen orbs in there, and he's seen a Black Panther. He lives not that far away from there.
Interesting.
But he's not responding to any of the calls or anything anymore. So I know he's having a couple of family issues. What have you? I don't want to go into it too much.
Yeah.
It's not related, but I just can't get hold of him. But he said we could go down there, no chores round. He actually found a map down there and sent me a copy of it. Cool.
K2 meter.
Yes.
Next on my list. Right, guys, we've got 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll skip to the last question. So Mike,
and then Mike
can tell his
you can come on again.
Story.
Right. My theory on UFOs. I do think that lightning strikes in the world are affiliated to UFOs coming into the ground, underground.
Right.
One of my theories, one of them, I do think that I've seen videos of people all over the world. When you put in on YouTube, you get through a stage of boredom, don't you, or something, and you think,
yeah,
I don't know, strange lightning strikes. And he
Yeah.
comes up with these weird lightning strikes, and you see the lightning strike, but with almost like an orb coming down into the ground, almost like a bolt. I know that.
Right.
I know what a lightning strike looks like,
Yeah.
and when it hits the ground and not kills
Yeah.
something, strikes a tree or something, or a building or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like they're using our natural weathers as a form of disguise
Yeah.
to penetrate our ground.
They're kind of like immune to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
that.
I do think that. I've got all sorts of different theories, but it probably end up being too long. But yeah, I do think they're going using our oceans because nobody's there for miles around. They can do that. They can go in our sea, under the ground, what they want to do. For people who have been fishing at Flamborough Head or off the coast of Flamborough, and to have grounded on something metallic under the hull of the boat.
Yeah.
What's that about?
That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, I did hear about that way before Paul even told me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So
fishermen have seen.
Sorry, Andy's putting things about ladies' bits on the screen. No.
Surely not Merch again, Andy.
No, he's writing about tits now.
Like, what? Oh.
That's why I took it off and then you put it straight back on.
Yeah, I'll delete it.
Yeah.
Let's
all guess what Andy's got on the brain.
Right. Right. So yeah. So Mike, do you want to come on again in 4 weeks?
Absolutely, yeah. Not a problem, not a problem. It's a pleasure being on and being honoured to come on there.
No, you're welcome.
No,
I've
it's
enjoyed
great
having
for
you
coming on. Yeah.
So to speak.
Love it when we have guests on.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes, and ignore what I've wrote because I haven't got a clue. What the heck? Yeah. So next week we're doing a live investigation.
Yeah.
Joe Weeks has done a lot of research for this one. Can't believe I wrote that. Can we delete it? The week after, there's no stream at all because I'm on holiday and we're all having a week off.
Going anywhere nice?
The week after that, Devon.
Devon. Very nice.
I'd love to go to Devon.
Yeah, I've been once working, but I've never been down there for more than an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, Torquay I went to on holiday, and brilliant.
We're going near Brixham somewhere. That's all I know.
Okay.
Lovely.
Have a great time.
I know Fingy's ship's there. Sir Francis Drake's the Golden Hind.
He's my ancestor.
Can go on it. Is it?
Really?
Oh, tell him you said hello.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a bit.
Yeah. So next week is live investigation. It's gonna be a good one. I've gone out, I've done the research, done everything for this one. It's absolutely gonna be banging.
Yes.
So, and then if Mike, you come on the week after the second investigation.
Yeah, not for that. Not a problem.
Cool. And then we'll carry on. We'll just carry on from where we've left off tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to pick up other topics on the paranormal or anything. I don't know anything. I'm open to it.
So if any of you have got any questions, you've got 4 weeks to write them down. Then ask Mike.
Think on.
Then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Massive thank you to Mike and MKMD
Thank you all.
Exploration for coming on.
Thank you, everybody.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, and cheers for everyone in the comments and asking the questions. And
thank you for the questions.
And donating and buying mugs and more car stickers and everything else. I'm waiting for the affiliation coming from Amazon. I've
Yeah.
filled all the forms in. I'm waiting for them to say yes or no. They should say yes. There's no reason why they won't.
Oh yeah.
It's going to make them money. So as soon as they contact me, the link will be on there, and you should be able to buy then anything you want because there's no note on it. So massive thank you. Sorry, go on.
I'm just looking in the comments. People like Lee Roscoe, get him on.
Yeah.
Tina.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who have got
Yeah.
good theories, who have seen on these comments, and bring them on if they want to. That is, but
well,
fantastic.
That's what me and Deb was talking about that, and we do want to get the people that come on and comment and make it what it is. We want to get you guys on, even if you've never had an experience. It's just something that interests you. Yeah,
I mean, listening to other people's theories, it's sharing ideas and other theories. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant to hear them.
It is, yeah.
Just something that interests them.
Don't get me wrong, it does take courage to come on a live stream. You got people watching, who you don't even know, you've never met or whatever. But it's good for your confidence. It's good for socializing. Do you know what I mean? And interacting with people and showing a face to them.
What you need to remember. Yeah, what you need to remember, we're all here for the same thing.
Exactly. It's a passion, ufology, isn't it?
So, it is.
Yeah.
All of it is passion.
Absolutely.
The whole spectrum of it. Yeah,
that's right.
So, I'm going to have to end it now because we're hitting time. And a massive thank you again to Mike and Deb.
No problem. Thank you.
You lot there in listener world.
Yeah, thank you all.
Comment world, whatever you want to call it. So I'll get that. I'll get the investigation set up on the website. I'll get the prices and how many it's going to road, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So massive thank you, and see you all next week.
Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.